What's going on, guys? My name is Jacob Janel. Welcome to Dilemma, the competitive sports debate show centered around one concept. The hardest questions in sports do not have easy answers. Each episode goes over 5 major claims centered around one sport or topic. For every claim, debaters have just seconds to decide whether they agree or disagree. They are then matched up head to head to defend their take. Each debate is judged by the room in a group vote. If you win an argument, you win a point. If everyone agrees on a claim, we activate a forced dilemma where half of the contestants get swapped to the other side of that argument and have to debate it anyways. No safe takes. At the end of the episode, the debater with the most points wins. Today, we're going to be taking a look at the current NBA season. Let's get into it. Before we get into today's episode, let's introduce our contestants. Everyone tell me your name, what you do, and your favorite NBA team, starting with you, Josh.
My name is Josh. What I do, I got my brand. It's called the Yop Chop, where I discuss basketball, wrestling, football, anything. With anything with sports. Favorite team, it's a complicated one. I'm really a Laker fan, but I'm not gonna lie, since LeBron's came to my team, I don't jack the Lakers no more. So yeah, I can't lie. But my favorite player in the league is Brandon Ingram. So as of right now, I'm a Toronto Raptor fan.
Okay. Well, I love it, man. I love it. Will, you're up.
All right, my name is Will. I just started a new podcast, and then as far as for work, I work on NBA game ads, so I'm watching these games all the time. And favorite team is the Cavs.
Hell yeah, man. Go Cavs, go D Mitch. Rashad, you are up.
Yo, I'm Rashad, aka The Groveness, on all your social media platforms. I'm a sports writer, podcaster, content creator, and a loyal Philadelphia 76er fan. Most definitely.
Most definitely, man. Hey, go Sixers. Let's hope that they do something in the postseason this year, but there's no guarantees. Wave, you're up.
What's good, y'all? It's Gia Wave. I'm a streamer, video editor, podcaster. I host my own show, and I'm a Dallas Mavericks fan.
Last but not least, we have Rico.
What's going on? My name is Rico, or I also go by No Limit Rico. I'm a content creator and a streamer. When it comes to my content, I mostly do, reactions when it comes to basketball or just regular reactions in general. And I also stream when it comes to video games, just chatting and all that stuff. And my favorite team is the Dallas Mavericks as well.
We got 2 Mavericks fans on this show today. Going to be very interesting to see how this goes. Without further ado, let's get right into claim number 1. Claim number 1 is the Washington Wizards made a huge mistake trading for Trae Young. Type in the chat your thoughts on this take.
A few moments later.
The results are in, and we have our very first forced dilemma round. All the contestants voted disagree for the claim. So now I'm going to flip 2 of them by random on the other side of this argument, and they're going to go up with 2 people that agreed with the claim. Without further ado, we have round number 1, Josh versus Rashad. Josh, why do you agree with this claim?
Number one, why I agree with this claim is, number one, Trae Young is injury prone. That's number one. Number 2, I'm not sure if Trae Young is worth CJ McCollum and Corey Kispert and a second-round pick as well, too. I think that's a little bit too much for a guard that's inefficient. His playmaking ability could be a little bit overrated at times. And like I said, he's injury-prone. He hasn't played in a long time.
Now we get over to Rashad's argument. Rashad, why do you disagree with the claim? You have 30 seconds.
First of all, it's the Washington Wizards. They ain't got nothing going on. They ain't got no job, and they ain't got nothing to do. Yo, it's a win-win. You bring Trey DeBarge to D.C., get some chocolate back in Chocolate City, get the seats full, he come back, throw some Alan Desar, everything works out. It's a great move.
That was Josh's take with why he agreed with the claim, and that was Rashad's take of why he disagreed. We will now have them face in the dilemma round. Gentlemen, you have 1 minute and 30 seconds to get your point across.
So after Trae Young is throwing lobs to Alex Sarr for this year, you said that. Yo, how much are you guys going to pay him? That's number one. Y'all going to give him a contract that he doesn't deserve just for you guys not even to be a play-in team. Like, you guys are going to struggle to be a play-in team, number one. Number two, who else are you getting? Who's coming to Washington? Not because Trae Young is in Washington, there's nobody's coming to Washington. It's Washington, D.C. Like, stop. Like, no, bro.
First of all, you're going to stop hating on Washington, D.C. It's got mumbo sauce, Howard University, a lot of good things in D.C. But
Howard University.
but
You know what I'm saying?
but here's why I think it's great, because you got to put some new energy. When you are a low team, always in the cellar, you need a star to sell tickets. And Trae has some efficiency issues. I give you that. He's 5'11", 125, soaking wet. I give you that. But that cat is a clutch player. 25 points, 10 assists for his career, full-time all-star. Yo, he's one of the best players the Wizards had in years. They're going to get a good draft pick in this year's class.
He's not even better than John Wall. He's not even better than John Wall.
Listen, John Wall ain't none of them here no more. Listen, yeah, John Wall.
Yo.
Love the debate there. A lot of really controversial claims there. Whoever was not debating, vote in the chat your thoughts on this matter.
2 seconds later.
To conclude round number 1 of this claim, Rashad takes the victory over Josh.
I survived.
Moving on to round number 2 of this claim, we have Wave, who agrees with the claim, versus Rico, who disagrees. Wave, why do you agree with this claim?
I think that was a terrible, terrible move by the Wizards. They should have traded for somebody else, honestly, because you're going to trade for a Trae Young who's an undersized guard who takes too much money off of the books. And number 3, you have something that is currently working, well, in progress with all of your young players like Bub Carrington, George, Trey Johnson. They got a lot of young players, and now here comes a ball-dominant guard who's going to take the ball out of their hands and stunt their growth.
That was Wave's take of why he agrees with the claim. Rico, let's hear your side of the argument.
So why I disagree with this claim is because Trae Young is literally the best guard they have gotten since Westbrook. I'm not even gonna lie, Trae Young is a walking 25 and 10. Literally will get you the best of both worlds on offensive end. Not only is he gonna give you buckets, but he's gonna give you dimes too. You can't, from you. That's just how I feel about it. You get the best of both worlds for a point guard.
Wave and Rico spoke their truth on the matter and gave their opinions. They will now go head to head in the dilemma round. Gentlemen, you have a minute 30 to get your point across.
All right, Wave. So what makes you think that this is a bad move for the Wizards? I just want to know.
They have too many good young players who play the guard position or are on the ball guards. And now here comes Trae Young. Trae Young can't play shooting guard. He has to be the point guard. He has to have the ball. And so now you're taking opportunities away from these young players who are promising, who are showing signs that they could be nice, because you want to get Trae Young, who's about to be past his prime in a couple years.
I mean, I'm not even gonna lie. I feel like Trae Young really is the best fitting piece for the Wizards. I don't see why it's such a bad thing. Literally, come on.
Because they suck at defense. They are ass at defense.
That's true. They suck at defense.
The Wizards are terrible defensively, and Trae Young is my height. So you think him going out there, he got to stop Cade Cunningham. He's not doing nothing with Cade Cunningham, bro.
That's cool and all, but that's why you get you build around Trae Young.
The Wizards are bottom of the league in defense. And you get somebody.
That's not helping. Is literally a scoring point god. I would say honestly, bro, for his game, I would say he's a Chris Paul that can just shoot way better, in my opinion.
Okay, I mean, respect Chris Paul. That's true. He might be, but Chris Paul was a two-way star. Chris Paul was getting 2 steals a game. Chris Paul was on ball defending, getting steals. He was playing both sides. Trae Young does not play both sides of the ball at all.
That is
so
true,
he's more I don't know who we would compare. Isaiah Thomas. That ain't gonna get the job done.
The dilemma round has concluded, and now the contestants who did not debate will vote who they thought was the best debater. The votes are in, and Wave wins this 2-1. Was definitely a tough debate here. Trae Young going to the Wizards is controversial for many reasons. I personally believe it was a good move for the Wizards, and I think that with Trae Young, they will improve drastically for the rest of this year. But of course, only time will tell that tale.
Yo, some of y'all missed the point about like the draft picks and like the fucking contract and shit. Because
Yeah.
That too.
if
That's
yo,
true.
if whoever was arguing that it was a good move, if y'all pulled that out, it would have been clipped.
Facts.
That is the end of claim number 1, and we're going to move right along here to claim number 2. Claim number 2 is Luka Doncic is the most valuable player in the NBA this season. Debaters, you have 15 seconds to give your response. Go.
A few moments later.
The results are in, and it is a 3-2 vote. 3 people agree, 2 people disagree. As you'll see on the graphic on screen, our results from the chat tell the story right here. And to start off our round 1 of debating, Will, who agrees with the claim, and Rico, who disagrees. Will, why do you agree with the claim?
Luka leads the league right now in points per game. He's one of the top guys in assists per game. And he's on the Lakers, who, mind you, they're 4-3 without Luka, and I think they're 11-6 without LeBron. So you can safely say that Luka is way more impactful than LeBron. He's the best player on the Lakers. He's shown his value over the years, on the Mavericks, now in LA. And I'm pretty sure, other than LeBron, if he gets into the All-Star game this year, Luka is going to be the only All-Star. He's keeping them in the playoff picture. And you can see already with JJ Redick, like all his coaching problems with the Lakers, and Luka's the only one keeping it together for that team.
Let's flip gears over to Rico to see why he disagrees with this claim.
So why I disagree with this claim is, yes, Luka is the top in scoring, but honestly, we still have players named Nikola Jokic and SGA, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Not even gonna lie, both of those teams are top 3 in the West. So with that being said, it speaks for itself.
That was Rico's opinion on the matter. Short, sweet, and simple. We now move over to the dilemma round where these two will duke it out with a minute 30 on the clock to see who has the stronger argument.
So here's the thing. I already knew you were going to say Jokic and SGA. I knew that was going to come out of your mouth. But here's the thing, right? I already told you the Lakers have basically about a 500 record without Luka, and the Nuggets have about a 500 record without Jokic. And to me, at this stage, you can see the problems LeBron is causing with the culture of the Lakers. I would rather take Jamal Murray on my team than LeBron. I would have never said this in prior years, but at this point, I would say that. Okay,
Now you're overly wildin'.
SGA, I don't even think he should. It's not because he's not a good player that he's in the picture, because we said most valuable player, and the Thunder have a lot of valuable pieces that I would not say the Lakers have, right? Jalen Williams, the 2 Jalen Williams and Lou Dort and all those guys, the Lakers don't have something like that.
But the thing is with like somebody like a SGA, for example, if he's not there putting up his regular 30 points per game, that changes the whole trajectory of OKC. Yes, they'll probably still be a good team, but they will not be a number 1 seed without SGA for a fact. And
you're right.
When it comes to Nikola Jokic, he's averaging a 30-point triple-double. I don't know any center that's ever averaged a 30-point triple-double along with still being able to maintain top 3 in the West for years. And Nikola Jokic is still putting up amazing, godly numbers.
But SGA, you said it. It would still be a good team without SGA. The Lakers wouldn't be in the playoffs without Luka. There's a big difference. That's the whole point.
I disagree with that.
Rico, get your point across, and then that's the claim.
Okay, I disagree with that. I feel like, to be honest, LeBron's 41, 42, whatever, and he's a little old, but I feel like if he's still there and everybody else works around him, they'll still be able to make the playoffs tomorrow.
That concludes round 1 for this claim. We now go over to the chat where our debaters will vote based on who they thought had the stronger argument.
2 seconds later.
The votes are in, and we have a 2-1 victory for Will. He secures the point, and the voters thought that he had the better argument. Moving on to round 2 for this claim, we have Wave, who agrees with the claim, and Rashad, who disagrees with the claim. Wave, why did you agree with this claim?
I'm not gonna lie, Luka has been the MVP for like 2 years in a row. The NBA just, for whatever reason, they don't give him the award, but he's been averaging 33 and 10 and 10 like that. He does that every single year. I'm a Mavericks fan, bro. I know how valuable Luka Doncic is, bro. He is extremely valuable to the team. LeBron wasn't on the team, and he was having the Lakers looking like they were something. And LeBron came back, and now they suck again. Or not, they don't suck, but he's carrying essentially a team of lesser players, and he elevates the play of everybody around him, and he does it with less.
That was Wave's thoughts on why he agreed with the claim. Now let's flip over to Rashad to see what he has to say.
Luka. I'm a big Luka guy. The only reason I don't think he can win the MVP, I don't know if they'll be able to leapfrog the other teams in the standings. Historically, only Russell Westbrook, his historic season as a non-1 or 2 seed to get the MVP. He gonna have the numbers. He may sneak in there because the Joker is injured, but I think SGA, if they keep winning, they win 65 games, they'll hand it to SGA.
Rashad just spoke his thoughts on the matter. The two will now meet in the dilemma round where they have a minute 30 to duke this one out.
Luka does not play with Chet Holmgren, who is one of the top rim protectors in the league. He plays with DeAndre Ayton, who for a number 1 pick, he's a bust. He plays with Jackson Hayes, who for a lottery pick is a bust. So he doesn't play with a Lou Dort. He has Marcus Smart. Every team Marcus Smart played for gave up on him. So it's like he's kind of playing with some misfits, and he got to try to put this cast together. And it ain't he's doing some Superman shit, bro. SGA don't have to do that. Jokic doesn't. Jamal Murray just had like 30 and 17. Like nobody on the Lakers can get 30 and 17. So I just feel like Luka is definitely the most valuable. If you take him off that Lakers team, it's bad, bro. They would be worse than the Jazz.
Here's what I want to say. We must have forgot that Luka does play with Austin Reeves, who has been having a hell of a season. I think he averaging 28 points. And that old man with that gray beard with his son on the team hasn't been half bad. Averaging like 29 a clip, the last couple games. Hey, I'm not here for this LeBron slander tonight. Listen, I think he's a viable candidate. I just think he don't win it over SGA simply because I don't know if the Lakers can win as many games.
Respect to Reeves, but he ain't no Chet Holmgren and he ain't no Jamal Murray.
The dilemma round has concluded. We now go to the chat to see what our debaters think of the results.
2 seconds later.
The floor has spoken, and this round ended up being a 3-0 victory for Wade, as every voter thought he had the better argument. Little score update for you guys at the end of the second round. We currently have Wave in the lead with 2 points. Trailing is Rashad and Will with 1 point each, and Rico and Josh have yet to score. We'll see if that changes going forward in claim number 3. Claim number 3 is the Detroit Pistons will finish as the top team out of the East this season.
A few moments later.
Debaters have voted on their opinions for this claim. Starting off round 1, we have Rashad, who agrees, and Will, who disagrees. Rashad, why did you agree with this claim?
I just think that depending on Cunningham's injury status, that they have enough of a cushion with the Knicks playing subpar and the Celtics. I just don't think it'll be enough time for them to catch them with that 5-game lead heading into the All-Star break.
Rashad spoke on the matter. Now we flip over to Will on why he disagrees with this claim.
Well, you mentioned it already, right? Cade's injured, and I was just working on the Pistons game last night. I literally worked during the game. I worked on this game, so I know that they had like 4 starters injured. It was him, Tobias Harris, Jalen Duren, and I forgot who the other one is, but they got 4 guys out. I understand there's a little bit of a cushion right now, but I also just checked the strength of schedule rankings. The Pistons do have a harder schedule than the 2nd and 3rd seeded Knicks and Celtics. So, and especially because this team is young and stuff, I just don't know that they're going to hold up.
Will has spoken on the matter, and now we shift over to the dilemma round where these two will argue it out to figure out who has the better opinion here.
Last night, I was watching the Celtics lose to the Spurs. I'm watching the Knicks tumble, so I don't know if they can play as well enough to catch up to the Pistons, and the Pistons, I think, can handle both of those teams.
Yeah, the Celtics lost. You said the Knicks lost?
They've been losing.
And you know who? The Pistons lost to the Clippers, who got a losing record. So I don't really know where that argument was going, but I just checked again. Actually, I checked at the other teams that got an easier remaining strength of schedule, and out of the top 6 teams, all right, which mind you, the Orlando Magic are number 6, the Cavs are number 7. They're only 7 games behind, but out of the top 6 teams, 4, including I think the next best seeds, have an easier strength of schedule than the Detroit Pistons, which include the New York Knicks, and Jalen Brunson is freaking going ham over there. They've won some big games so far this season. All right, Cat's been showing up decent in fourth quarter situations.
Decent. That's a stretch. There's no way in the world you're going to get me to put my trust in Cat. I know Commissioner
Cat's
Silver.
the number 2 guy.
I know Silver sends you the advanced analytics every day. I get that, Mr. Will. But look, I'm talking about the eye test. That when K gets back in that lineup, they're all cooked.
Why?
Because
Well,
they can't handle it.
You would rather would you rather have Brunson and Cat, or would you rather have Cade? Because you were talking about stars, right?
I like Cade, Duran, Robinson, and JB. I like the collection of the Pistons.
We're going to see who the debaters think had the better argument.
2 seconds later.
The results are in, and Will takes this round 2-1 against Rashad. Moving on to round 2, we have Josh, who agrees with the claim, and Rico, who disagrees with the claim. Josh, why did you agree with this claim?
I personally agreed with the claim because, number one, the Detroit Pistons are hungry from the loss they took last year to the Knicks. Number one, Isaiah Stewart was hurt when they lost. They didn't have no Jaden Ivey, and they're such a young team that they're going to play aggressive every single night to get those Ws, understanding their strength in the schedule.
Josh has spoken his thoughts on the matter. We now flip over to Rico to hear what he has to say.
So the reason why I disagree with this claim is, number one, I'm big New York City. I'm never gonna go against my Knicks ever. But all jokes aside, though, I'm not going to front. I feel like Knicks really do got that grind, they got that grit and that grime. And honestly, bro, like we got Jalen Brunson, we got JB.
Rico explained to us on why he disagrees on the claim. We now have the dilemma round where these two will go head to head.
So I'm gonna so when it comes to the Knicks, we've already been one game away or a couple games away from being in the finals. So I really feel like that now that we've had that loss in the conference finals from last year, that we got Mike Brown, who's one of the best coaches we've had in a long ass time, bro. Thibodeau was not that much of a good coach.
Same thing about Tom Thibodeau.
Thibodeau was not that. Me personally, he was not that good of a coach. He was very overrated, in my opinion.
When he made you guys go to the playoffs. Then after that, the first year with Julius Randle, then Jalen Brunson came. Y'all went to the second round against who was against the Miami Heat, then lost against the Pacers. He made it to the playoffs 3 times. But going back to the Detroit Pistons, Cade Cunningham, he's been out for I think 5 games. It is now. They have a 4-1 record. I know they lost last night. Jalen Duran also been out for a couple games. They have a winning record without Jalen Duran, without Tobias Harris. I understand that it's going to be hard for them to win games without those guys out. But like I said, the Pistons are hungry. I feel like they're motivated from the loss from the Knicks. That if they face the Knicks this year, Pistons in 7.
I'm not going to front. No. The Knicks, first of all, we got Jalen Brunson, JB. Honestly, he's the best guard in the East. Nobody can guard him. Nobody's going over him. And our defense is amazing.
The dilemma round has concluded. We now turn to our voters to see what they think of the round.
2 seconds later.
The voters have spoken. Josh wins 2-1 against Rico. This was definitely an interesting subject to debate. I think that the Pistons are on fire right now, but will they win the East? Who knows? I personally think the New York Knicks probably will end up taking it, or the Boston Celtics, but we shall see. Moving right along to claim number 4, the Minnesota Timberwolves are the Buffalo Bills of the NBA, perennial contenders with no title future. Let's see what our debaters have to say about this claim.
A few moments later.
The votes are in, and it is a 3-2 vote to start off round number 1. Will says he agrees with this claim, And Wave said he strongly disagrees with this claim. Will, why do you agree?
Well, let's just look at the results so far, right? 0 franchise titles, and look at the stars that they've run through, right? Kevin Garnett didn't win a title with him. Kevin Love didn't win a title with him. They had the era with Karl Anthony Towns and Zach LaVine and those guys. And Jimmy Butler, remember that? Didn't win. So now I don't see them doing anything different with Anthony Edwards. It's not a problem with Ant. Ant's a great player. I just don't think management knows what the hell to do over there.
That was Will's take. Now we flip over to Wave, who strongly disagrees with the claim.
The reason I strongly disagree with this claim is because you're disrespecting the Buffalo Bills. The Buffalo Bills will win the Super Bowl this year. The Philadelphia Eagles are eliminated. The Chiefs are eliminated. The Ravens are eliminated. So putting the Timberwolves, who are a poverty franchise, in the same category as the 2026 Super Bowl champions is blasphemy, as Stephen A. Smith would say. I strongly disagree with that, because the Timberwolves aren't going to do anything, and Josh Allen's going to be the Super Bowl MVP at the end of the season.
Wave spoke on why he felt disrespected with the Buffalo Bills being compared to the Timberwolves. Now, I'm interested to see in this upcoming dilemma round how Will and Wave argue this claim.
See, I think here's the problem. I think while we stated one of us agrees, one of us disagrees, I think at the end of the day, we actually agree with we agree with the same half of the statement, and we disagree with also the other half of the statement. I also think the Bills are going to win the Super Bowl, but I think the Timberwolves, listen, it's Luka's era and Jokic's era right now, and Shea's era. These guys are in better places with better management that, especially with the case with the Lakers, they're going to be able to attract talent over there to that Lakers roster. So all three of those guys that are kind of the face of the younger generation, they're put in better positions to win than Anthony Edwards is. If Anthony Edwards is going to win a chip, and I think he can, especially as a number one guy, he's got to go elsewhere.
I don't think necessarily that he's in the worst possible position. Gobert, say what you want about Gobert. He's a good defensive big. He's serviceable. He does what he's supposed to do. Julius Randle can get you a double-double any night. I think the supporting cast that they've kind of given him in previous years wasn't as, I'm not going to say as good, but I think now they kind of have a better chance, because you got Julius Randle, who can take over a game. Not saying he will take over a game, but he has that potential. If you need him to, he might be able to do it for you. And I think, just given the current roster situation, I think Ant could win a ring and end up winning a ring. And I think he has the talent and the potential to take Minnesota out of the way that we currently see them.
The dilemma round has concluded, and now we turn to the voters to see what they think about the round.
2 seconds later.
The results are in, and Will is kicking ass right now, winning 3-0 against Wave. We have a scoreboard update for you guys. Will is currently leading the pack with 3 points. Trailing right behind him is Wave with 2. Rashad and Josh both have a point, and Rico still has 0.
I'm going to give me a damn point before I leave this shit. I don't give a fuck.
We will now move right along to the final claim of the episode. The final claim of the episode is the Oklahoma City Thunder will repeat as NBA champions this season.
A few moments later.
The final votes for the final claim are in. 3 people disagree, 2 people agree. To start off round 1 of the debate, we have Rashad, who agrees, versus Wave, who disagrees. Rashad, why do you agree with this claim?
I still think the Thunder have the most formidable team in a 7-game series. They have the experience of winning last year, and if they have to play the Spurs, who they lost to this year, who knows? They probably make Wemby play 10 minutes in the semifinals of the playoffs. So who knows what they'll do? But I still like SGA and that team in a 7-game series. I think it'll be tough for anybody to knock them off.
Rashad gave his thoughts on the matter, and now we flip right over to Wave on why he disagrees with the claim.
2 words: Victor Wembanyama. He is a problem for not just the Thunder, but for every team in the league. They literally can't beat the Spurs as of now. I think they lost 3 times to them already. They just went to overtime with the Jazz, who everybody on the Jazz is a rookie. Like, you know what I mean? Like they went to overtime with them. They were like 20-1 to start the year. J-Dub comes back. Now the chemistry is all thrown off. They don't look like how they looked at the beginning of the year. I don't trust it. And I think the NBA is just kind of wide open right now. The Pistons look good. It's too many teams.
Wave has spoken his thoughts on the matter. Let's hop right into the dilemma round.
I like Wemby, but my eyes cannot forget what I saw last year, and that experience means a lot.
True.
Wemby has yet to play in the playoffs or drag out series yet.
True.
He needs Castle and them. Can they hit those shots when the lights are bright? I know you can do it in the NBA Cup, but I'd rather roll with SGA and them and that coaching staff and all those picks to win the championship this year.
Wemby has a beef with Chet. He don't like Chet. He takes it out of him every time they face up, every time they go against each other, and he ends up winning that battle almost every time that they play. I think that is the one thing that could potentially put the Thunder over the Spurs, but the Spurs have wing defenders. They have Castle. They have a lot of different players that you could throw at SGA because say one gets in foul trouble. Well, here's Keldon Johnson. Here's Devin Vassell. Like they got guys that they can kind of throw at them. They got shooting. They can shoot. I'm just not really scared of the Thunder anymore. I think they had a good year last year, but I really don't think that they're as good as they were last year. And I think they're kind of hitting a wall right now. And it's going to be tough. We got to see how the season ends up, but they might not even get to play the Spurs because the Nuggets are tough. We mentioned Luka Doncic is tough. So there's a lot of teams in the West and the East. I think the road is it's real difficult for them to go back to back.
Rashad and Wave duked it out over the claim, and now the voters will decide who had the better argument.
2 seconds later.
The results are in. Rashad wins the debate 2-1 against Wave in a brutal vote. Moving on to round 2 of this claim, we have Will, who agrees with the claim, and Rico, who disagrees. Will, why do you agree with the claim?
Well, to just debunk the argument about last night's game against the Jazz, Alex Caruso and Isaiah Hartenstein were both out. And to also debunk the argument about Wemby, you got to worry about his health. Now, on to actually OKC themselves. They got 6 players averaging double figures. They're incredibly deep. All right. SGA, not only is he getting the other team to foul, and he's going to end up putting a lot of teams in foul trouble, he's also shooting 55% and somehow also averaging 40% from beyond the arc, which is just incredible.
Will gave his opinions on the claim, and now we have Rico, who is on the other side of this coin. All right, Rico, let's see if you can get a point before the episode's over.
So the reason why I disagree is because we're in a new day and age now where teams aren't really repeating championships like they used to way before. And also on top of that, when it comes down to the playoffs, everything is 0-0. So everything changes come playoffs, defense and everything changes. And honestly, I feel like come playoffs, everybody is going to understand how OKC works, how everything works, and they're going to be able to find a weakness and attack on that.
Rico has given his thoughts on the matter. Now we head into the final dilemma round for the episode. We will see who takes home this point.
So one thing about OKC, they actually kind of remind me of the 2016 Warriors. Yes, they just got a high off a championship from the previous season. They have an amazing regular season, but come playoffs, somehow, some way, something just isn't right. And honestly, I'm gonna go. And honestly, as soon as J-Dub came back, Jalen Williams, everything literally changed. Honestly, I feel like, to be honest, bro, people are going to literally find a pure weakness at OKC because they really do. And honestly, what's gonna make or break OKC win the championship is J-Dub. And he is not even having a season that he's supposed to really be having due to an injury on his wrist.
All right, well, I'd like to wait for a team to actually figure it out because it took them all season last year, and it turns out no one could figure it out.
Well, Spurs doing it this year.
Okay, yeah, but you got to worry about Wemby's health, as I mentioned before. OKC had some bad games against the Pacers last year, and we could debate about the burn injury and whatnot. But at the end of the day, they still won that chip, right? You're making all this shit up about, they could get figured out. They could figure somebody else out. It's the same thing. And repeating championships, a point you mentioned before, listen, every single team that has repeated probably had an era before where there was a period where teams weren't repeating. So it's just somebody's going to do it eventually, and it's going to be OKC.
I really just don't see it. Honestly, this OKC team, it's just something about them that just doesn't make
6
sense
players in double
right now that
figures.
we're in.
6 players in double figures.
That's cool and all, but come playoffs, none of that mean nothing because they better hoop come playoffs. Because if not, it's quiet. It's not happening.
We have the conclusion of the final dilemma round of the episode, and now the voters will take one final vote to see who gets this point.
2 seconds later.
The results are in for the final vote. 2-1, Will beat Rico to rack up 4 points and a victory for the episode.
And damn.
Shout out to Will. Got the dub.
Good shit, Will.
Close second. Some will say it's debatable. We'll see what the comments say. We'll see what chat got to say. We'll see.
A final score update for you guys on the screen right here. Will wins the episode at 4 points. Rashad and Wave tie for second at 2 points each. And Josh comes in third with 1 point. Rico was held scoreless this debate.
And it's some bullshit, man. I'm not hearing none of that, bro. Hey, I ain't gonna front. There's something going on here, man. I don't know what's going on for me, but I feel like it's 1 against 6. I think yeah, 1 against 5. I don't know what's going on. I'm only one man. Can I just get 1 win?
And just like that, Will is our winner for this episode of Dilemma, where we went over the NBA season today. Will, congratulations on this. How are you feeling about this win?
It was cool. It was a lot of fun. I know the last time I was on a show like this, Jacob, you were with me, and I got my ass handed to me because I didn't know how the show worked on a House of Highlights. So it's okay, Rico. You know, I had my ass kicked the last time I did one of these shows too. I got bounced in the first fucking round, so it's gonna be all right.
I did too. I completely relate. I get it. I also got bounced first round. That's going to do it for this episode of Dilemma. If you enjoyed the episode, subscribe, drop a comment, drop a like. Let us know in the comments what your thoughts were on these claims and takes. And if you are interested in being on one of these episodes, reach out to Jacob Janel TV on all socials. I'm Jacob Janel, and thanks for tuning with us today.